Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and welcome back to the last Mac Miller Monday for some time now, at least. Today, we'll be reacting to Tomorrow We'll Never Know off of Balloonerism, the last and final track. I am very excited to check this out. I hope you guys are as well. This is a long one, so get ready to buckle up. We're going to be here for a minute. The song's about 12 minutes just on its own. But without any further ado, let's get right into this. Let's see what Mac has to say. Let's see what Tomorrow We'll Never Know is all about. Let's get it. Okay, very atmospheric. Dark, cinematic type of feeling to it.
Do you fear that you'll have no control? You walk through this world with your head above water, shoes made of copper just trying to float. The lake's frozen over.
That is haunting. That is haunting. You walk through this world with your head above the water, shoes made of copper just trying to float. There's a lot of symbolism in Mac's tracks, especially when we go back to things like swimming and everything with drowning, with being, treading water, stuff along those lines. That is just haunting to start with. Wearing metal shoes, just trying to float. Really crazy beginning, super dark. And I'm also very curious if there will be any Beatles inspiration in this, considering the name.
No control. You walk through this world with your head above water, shoes made of copper just trying to float. The lake's frozen over. Look down at yourself. What staring back doesn't please you. The man don't believe you. He sees through the lies that you tell. Cards in your hand, you're looking at nothing. You wonder when God will just listen and give you a break.
Wow.
And
the way that bass line in the bottom, just like nice and wide and fat, it really fills up the space. It kind of reinforces Mac's vocal almost in a way that you would have a bass line reinforce a melody on certain tracks. And then the reverb and just the rawness of his vocal here is just crazy. Again, like the space that it's putting us in with him, very cinematic and just very, very dark, man. Wow.
just listen and give you a break. And he says, see, living and dying are one and the same.
I like that. The conflict of living and dying are one and the same, to be or not to be, kind of bringing it all the way back to that. And again, a topic Matt talks about a lot being death.
Do they dream just like we do? Do they dream just like we do?
Wow.
Do they love just like we do? Do they love just like we do?
Wow. And the crazy change here from kind of having Mac at like a single point that's dissipating into a large space to like fully surrounding, almost giving like a panoramic sound, that full 360. It's all around you, just filling up the space. Great production on this so far. In the intro, I love the little like do 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 that was coming through every once in a while. Just very interesting track. Very paced out, very pulled back. Interesting.
Do they dream just like we do? Do they love just like we do? Do they love just like we do? Do they feel just like we do? Feel just
Wow. Yeah. Very much like dream sequence type of feeling, like movie, TV, whatever it is. Thinking like the Big Lebowski with that dream sequence they have. I'm sure there's a couple other ones we could talk about. Maybe even more like Twilight Zone type of feeling, very otherworldly, ethereal. There's just like the background really creates this space again, like there's like whispers of vocals coming through and the different instruments and everything. It's just such a wild combination on this track of all the elements.
do you know anything at all? You've been waiting for answers. These parades and dancers keep building your castles from straw. The moon made of water. You swim to the shore. You can try your best escaping. The universe is breaking. You say you can't take it no more. The pressure is building like buildings you jump from. Wishing that wishing could lift this conundrum. The streets that you walk on are shallow, but do you feel as big as your shadow? No.
Just wild, man. I love how Mac is really controlling the pacing of this track with his vocal. He's really providing the overarching structure so far. The way he's kind of pushing it in a little bit faster now. He's filling in a little bit more of the gaps, keeping that vocal a little bit more constant. Just a great change here. It really feels like this track is like the tide. It's coming in. The water's washing over the beach. It's slowly coming up and covering your toes, then your whole foot, then it's up to your knee. Like it's just slowly coming in, almost like sneaking up on you. It's just a wonderful feeling. It's haunting, but there's a little bit of brightness that's starting to come through now. There's a little bit of that melancholy. There's a little bit of happiness inside the sad.
The streets that you walk on are shallow, but do you feel as big as your shadow? No. Dream just like we do. Do they dream just like we do?
And the instrumentals starting to build a little bit more, it seems. We're definitely getting a little bit of drums in the bottom. The bass line is still hanging out. We got some type of synth or whatever it might be coming with like dum, dum, like these kind of pointy, high pitched like clicks every so often. It's a nice addition. It's a really unique instrument that I quite haven't that I haven't quite heard that sound yet before. That sound before. I can't even speak right now. This track is messing me up, y'all. We're 4 minutes in, and we still got a ways to go. About a third of the way through. But just evocative. It really is just such a cinematic track. I can say it over and over again. Maybe y'all should keep a running tally in the comments. But just beautifully done. Beautifully done. There's just like this sense of like longing almost in it.
Do they dream just like we do? Do they love just like we do? Do they love just like we do? Do they feel just like we do? Do they feel just like we do? So you could make, you could make, if you could make, if you could make, if you could make,
Wow.
if you could make, if you could make, if you could make.
Wow, just like the layering on this track is just gorgeous. I mean, the way all of the layers interact with each other is just beautiful. They're in balance, they're making space for each other. Mac's vocal is kind of surrounded by the beat, almost swimming through it right now. It's got this, it's everything's crystal and clear, but there's still this murky flavor to it. There's like this slight discordance that's coming through every so often, or dissonance maybe. There's a couple words out there that have like very similar meanings, but they're different for reasons I'm not completely sure of, like dissonance or discordance, and alliteration and consonance and stuff like that. But regardless, just the additive. Everything comes together and creates this greater whole, and it's just beautiful.
It go away. Give you a chance to start
Wow. Ooh. That guitar is just gorgeous. The way that washes over the entire track. The reverb on this is just insane. There's so much reverb going on, and the fact that it blends so well with the reverb of every other layer stacked on top of each other just really sets it off. The drums, there's like just enough syncopation to give it that off kilter vibe, but it's just structured familiarly enough to keep it feeling linear. Like it's again balanced. There's all these things pulling in different directions, but somehow they're all pulling at just the same force. And it really creates just such a strange but but like depressingly beautiful track almost. There's a word for that. I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah, and that like little high pitch sound coming through. it's tempting to call it a woodwind like that doo 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 or whatever that is up in the top, but it really reminds me of steel drums. If you were to take like a sample of steel drums and be able to manipulate it further, I definitely think you could make that sound with them. It's funny. My neighbor actually has had a steel drum band like my whole life. Maybe not everybody gets to be around steel drums that often. Wow. Yeah, this track, this just occurred to me. It almost makes me think of it as like the antithesis of Riot by Earl Sweatshirt. Earl Sweatshirt on I think it was Just Some Rap Songs. He has that really short outro track. It's like 45 seconds, purely instrumental, purely a sample, really just crazy, triumphant, bright vibes coming through. And then we have this track with Mac where it's a lot of instrumental. It's super long. It's got some really like haunting and ghostly vocals on it. And it's like those tracks almost oppose each other, interestingly, in that way, where, you know, they're both completely just like Riot really diverts from the style of Just Some Rap Songs, where Tomorrow We'll Never Know really builds on the style of balloonerism, but in such a different way than one would ever expect. Wow. Yeah, just wacky, man. It's almost at that point where like I just don't even know what to say. I am so thrown off. Like the changes in the instrumentation with the drums, now this long instrumental section without any vocal. The drums come through really clear and really nicely. There's this great like rim shot sound. It's super woody that's coming through. The kicks are present, but they're still kind of softened on that impact with all the reverb and everything. Again, that like steel drum type of sound up in the top really just cuts through everything. You got the like, pap, 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 like the crowd noise in the background of like kids playing on a playground. It's just, it's wild, man. I'm like holding my breath. That is a that like a phone ringing? I feel like we're about to hear like a voicemail or something coming at the end of this track. And also the cymbals. The mix on the cymbals is so crispy. You can hear the texture, you can really feel them like the shimmer of the cymbals, the way that if you just let them ring out, the way the sound will waver and it gives you almost these like ruffles or these ripples. I'm thinking of Ruffles like the chips, but not a bad comparison though. But dude, yeah, just this is completely different than anything I have ever heard from Mac, including pretty much everything on balloonerism. Like you can see where it came from as a part of balloonerism, but the use in the application of all those different ideas and the way it all comes together, and then just again the amount of vocal we've gotten on this track is so sparse compared to anything else we've seen. It's really just flips everything on its head. It's this is wild to listen to. Certainly haven't gotten really any of that Beatles inspiration, at least more so in like the sonic qualities, I would say. You know, if we want to talk about like Revolution 9 and some of the really weird Beatles stuff, maybe we could find a linkage there. But to Tomorrow Never Knows, I don't really think so. But just crazy work here, man. I'm shocked. It's really interesting because on the left side, that phone is, or I'm gonna call it a phone, is like panned all the way to the left, but then behind it you can feel the air. There again, that spaciousness, the ambience, the just the whole quality of putting this is very soundscapey. I can't believe I haven't used that word yet in this video. It's just something else, man. It's just something else. Okay. Bass line comes back. Yeah. Nice choice to have that bass line come back. Works well. It really surprised me just kind of like looking down at my little sound output meters at the bottom of the screen there, how much that increases the loudness of the track or the amplitude, because loudness is a psychoacoustic effect created by sound pressure. But I won't nerd out about that because honestly, I don't know enough to nerd out about it right now. But regardless, it sounded like we got some nice like chimes about to come in. But really, just I'm speechless. This is a crazy track. have no idea what to say about this. It's really cool. It's very experimental. Again, it's one of those tracks off balloonerism where like I can't say I would ever really pick this out to listen to just on its own, but it's truly beautiful. And in the context of listening to the whole album, I'm sure it makes a whole lot of sense. And beyond that, just the intellectual exercise of actually looking through this piece and just kind of asking yourself what was going on when they made this is a it's a good time to say the least. Oh. Wow. Wow. Such a ghostly, ethereal, like through the veil. Like it's just barely, you just barely can't touch it, man. That is a wild track. I have no idea what to think right now. That was a lot to take in and a lot of just stuff completely different than anything I would have expected for this track to be. That was Tomorrow We'll Never Know from Mac Miller. That was wild. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly had a great time checking it out. Much love to everybody in the No Shoes gang. Thank you all for the support on the balloonerism reactions. I truly appreciate it. If you guys want to see more Mac on the channel, let me know. But we will be transitioning to Bone Thugs Tuesday coming next week. So be on the lookout for that. But much love to everybody in the No Shoes gang, and I will see you all next time.